Ken Rannick, it is such an honor to have you in the Erlanger studio.
Good to be here, Jay.
Just a nice person. You used to be a neighbor of mine, a very successful bankruptcy attorney here in town. I can just say right now, you do your research. You're like a walking Consumer Reports, especially when it comes to somebody not only cutting on your body, but a hospital that you're going to be in. You had your, you really had your second thoughts about coming to Erlanger.
I did. I guess paranoia is a healthy thing because it makes you be thorough to be sure you're making the right choice. I, having lived in Chattanooga since '84, I remember when Erlanger didn't have such a hot reputation. And I started checking around and started doing some research and heard about this new suite that they've got here at Erlanger on the 6th floor for these orthopedic procedures.
And by the way, you got a hip replacement.
Full hip on my left side.
This was you were born with this disorder.
Yeah, there's some sort of funky birth defect in the left hip where apparently in the gestational process there was some compression on a bone that made it grow funky, and by the time I was in my mid-50s it manifested itself in
You've been in pain all this time?
well, for the last 7 or 8 years. Yeah, I'm 61 now, but it grew into some arthritis resulting in a necessary procedure. But anyway, I went online, did a lot of checking around, started checking with people, and started asking everybody I knew in the medical field, nurses, doctors, insurance people, Blue Cross. I checked on the internet, and after I did my research, I kind of zeroed it in between Dr. Freeman and another of his colleagues. I then got into some national statistics of success rates, and Erlanger was just doing so well. And then after I met with Dr. Freeman, it turned out that I was very comfortable with Dr. Freeman. He was straight up, when it comes to something like a hip replacement. Of course, we've heard about these medical malpractice products liability cases where some of these things have failed. A former neighbor of ours had that very procedure, and she had to have a revision done because of a failure. And so we discussed all those types of things. We've steered away from that, and I couldn't be happier with how well I've done. And I have no doubt that the expertise that I got here at Erlanger really turned the corner and made a big difference in my life.
This suite is beautiful. We talk about the ortho suite. Actually your rooms are right there where just down the hall from the operating rooms. It's all done right there.
It's crazy.
It's a first-class operation, and we're glad you're here. This is like a nice hotel the stay was.
Let me tell you. Due to family members and whatnot, I've been to some of the major hospitals in the country for one reason or another. And I can categorically say I've never been more impressed than that 6th floor unit that they had us go through there for this particular procedure.
Your recovery was immediate, wasn't it? It started right after surgery. Well,
get this. Jason Lockery, the RN who does the orientation.
He was fantastic.
He's great. I've known him since he was a child. He gives us really fun presentation to educate you and to teach you what you're doing, right? And when I went to sleep, I woke up, and I was in my room, absolutely zero chills that you normally have after anesthesia, zero nausea, total clear-headedness. I'm talking. Inside of an hour, I'm out of my bed, walking over and using the toilet by myself with a hip redone, and I feel no pain. I mean, it's crazy. The technology and the expertise that was utilized, and I'm absolutely confident that it just kind of catapulted my healing process. Get this. So at the end of the day, he's lengthened my leg 3/8 of an inch, so now my legs, for the first time in my life, like I said, I'm 61 years old. For the first time in my life, my legs are the same length. And as I'm walking, I don't have to have that thump from my legs being different lengths. First time in my life. I mean, I went through athletics in high school. First time in my life, my legs are now same length. He takes my foot that was this way, he turns it now straight. Lengthens it, turns it straight. I walk I mean, it's crazy.
Let me ask you, we're almost finished. What is a follow-up like with an orthopedic surgeon after a hip surgery? You go into the office, what do they do?
Well, in his case, he just kind of looked at me and just said, "You're doing great." I went to Pam Bookout for my physical therapy and worked with her 2 or 3 times a week. And my prescription was for 8 weeks of physical therapy. She released me at 5 because I had met my metrics, of how far to go out this way, my strength levels and all that. I just had my 7th week review with Dr. Freeman just right before shooting this little spot. My strength was 5 out of 5 for purposes of that, and I'm just frankly, Jesus has blessed me better than I deserve. I just can't say I'm just so blessed. It's just been a happy story.
Hey, you've lived here since 1984. I think the only thing we can say is welcome to Erlanger.
Yeah, thank you.